Welcome to our channel. Today, we will embark on a special journey together, a journey following the footsteps of Japanese fishermen. The industrious people who live with the wind and waves, who have devoted their lives to the sea, to discover the craft of catching mackerel and herring by hand, a traditional profession that has existed for hundreds of years in the land of the rising sun. Without giant fishing boats, without modern machinery or industrial trawl systems. With only small boats, hand nets, fishing rods and experience accumulated over many generations, they can still conquer the vast ocean and bring back fresh, delicious catches of fish with a strong taste of the sea. The Silver Sea that we want to mention is not only a place that provides a rich source of seafood, but also a place that preserves the traditional fishing culture of the Japanese people. There, every early morning, before dawn, small wooden boats quietly cut through the waves to go out to sea. In the hazy fog, the rumbling sound of the engine blends with the fishermen's calls to each other, creating a symphony of everyday life at sea. Men wearing indigo shirts and headscarves, their hands quickly preparing nets, hooking bait, checking fishing lines, all taking place in a quiet but focused manner, clearly showing their deep attachment to their profession and to the sea. Mackerel and herring are two popular fish, but for the Japanese, they are not only food but also a part of culinary culture, the soul of many traditional dishes. Therefore, the fishing of these fish is always done carefully, selectively and in strict compliance with the rules for protecting aquatic resources. The fishermen here do not overfish or destroy, they only take enough according to the season, according to market demand, and always give the sea time to rest so that the fish can reproduce and grow. That is why, despite using manual methods, the annual catch is stable and sustainable, contributing to protecting the marine environment as well as maintaining a long-term livelihood for the local community. The journey to catch mackerel and herring begins with the preparation stage. Fishermen often closely monitor natural factors such as wind direction, currents, water temperature and the movement of fish schools. They have experience observing the sky, feeling the changes in the weather to decide the day to set sail. The small boats, although simple, are fully equipped with necessary items: seine nets, sharp nets, long fishing lines, marker buoys and iceboxes to preserve the fish immediately after catching. Each sea trip can last from a few hours to a whole day, depending on weather conditions and the presence of fish. Although arduous and dangerous, for Japanese fishermen, it is a source of pride and a way for them to continue to preserve their ancestors' traditions. The process of casting nets is also an art. Fishermen often choose areas near the shore, where there are many seaweeds and gentle eddies, natural gathering places for mackerel and herring. After determining the location, they proceed to cast a seine net, a circular net arranged evenly on the water surface. When the school of fish falls into the middle, they quickly and slowly pull the net to gather the fish, avoiding making them panic and swim away. This whole process requires good coordination between the members on the boat, from the person controlling the direction to the net keeper and the net puller. Sometimes, to increase efficiency, they also use light from lamps to attract the fish to gather at one point before proceeding to capture. Some other fishermen use handheld rods with live bait, a traditional but extremely effective method. Each jerk of the rod, each hook of the bait requires patience and a delicate feeling. Especially with herring, a sensitive and easily frightened fish, the angler must remain absolutely quiet, avoiding disturbing the water surface. Some people can catch dozens of kilos of fish in just a few hours. But there are also days when they're empty-handed because the sea is rough and the fish are not in season yet. However, they persevere and consider it an inevitable part of the job. After catching, the fish are sorted right on the boat. Washed with seawater and put in ice boxes to keep them fresh. When returning to the dock, the fish are quickly transported to local fish markets or sold to restaurants and processing facilities. Fresh mackerel and herring, with clear eyes and scales sparkling in the early morning sun, are considered precious gifts from the sea. Not only are they food, they are also the crystallization of the hard work, sweat and effort of many generations of fishermen. When the sun just appears on the horizon, the first light of the new day shines down on the shimmering sea, reflecting on the small boats that have just docked after a night at sea. The fishing port becomes bustling, not because the noise is the familiar rhythm of hurried hands, hurried but calm steps. Some people carry boxes of fish, some weigh and measure, others gently clean each fish to put in cold storage. In a corner of the wharf, a few old men with white hair are busy mending frayed nets after a trip to sea. Their hands trembling but full of experience. Each needle point seems to be a part of the memories of the sea that they have been attached to all their lives. For the Japanese, fishing is not simply labor, it is a way of life. Every family in traditional fishing villages has at least one person who follows the sea profession. From grandfather to father, then son, then grandson, passing on the secrets of fishing. How to read the wind, predict the current, or even how to talk to the sea. Because for them, the sea is not something strange, but an entity with a soul. Every time we go out to sea, we have a conversation with the ocean, and every fish we bring back is a response. If that day the fishermen behave properly and respect the laws of nature, no one dares to boast that they caught the most fish. On the contrary, they are often modest, only saying, "The sea is so dear today," as a gentle thank you. Not too loud, but enough to understand that the fruits of that labor come from the harmony between humans and nature. It is this way of thinking that makes the artisanal fishing industry in Japan persist until today. While many other places have switched to industrial exploitation, destroying marine resources just for immediate profit. Every fishing season, the Silver Sea bustles quietly. That is when herring and mackerel swim in schools to shallow waters near the shore to spawn. Fishermen take advantage of that time to catch fish, but still leave a part of the fish so that they can continue to reproduce in the following years. This practice is called ethical fishing, a concept that Japanese fishermen uphold as an oath of honor. They believe that if they take everything today, there will be nothing left for their descendants tomorrow. Therefore, they always fish seasonally, according to demand, not exceeding the permitted limit, something that not every country can maintain. Each herring and mackerel after being brought back is not only served for family meals or local restaurants, but is also processed into many other valuable products. Herring can be smoked, salted or dried, all by hand. The Japanese pay great attention to the natural flavor of the fish, so the processing process always preserves the original nature of the fish meat. The mackerel is filleted, sun-dried or grilled and served with hot rice, a simple meal but full of national identity. In some coastal villages, people also hold mackerel and herring festivals to show their gratitude to the sea. Boats are decorated with flags and colorful lanterns. People gather together, cook, sing and share stories of their daily lives at sea. Children are eager to learn how to cast nets and hook bait from their grandparents and uncles, as a way to pass on the passion to the next generation. Such occasions make fishing no longer a private affair for adults. But a part of community life, connecting people together with their love of the sea. There are days when the sea is rough, the wind is strong, the rain is pouring down. Fishermen have to postpone their trips to sea. At times like these, they take the opportunity to repair boats, patch nets, prepare fuel, check engines, and most importantly, they spend time with their families. In the small kitchen, the fragrant smell of grilled fish spreads. Children chatter, and the elderly tell stories about the sea in the past. Those are precious moments of silence in a life that is associated with waves and dangers. Thanks to those days of not going to sea, they love their home more, and appreciate each fish they bring back from the ocean more. Each fish caught is not only food, but also a drop of sweat, a hope, a perseverance to overcome difficulties. Japanese fishermen, despite their old age, hunchbacks, shaky hands, and poor eyesight, still go to sea every day, because they say, as long as I can breathe, I will go to sea. It is not for money, but for a relationship between people and the ocean, a love without words, without proof, just to feel. If viewers have the opportunity to come to Japan, try to visit the small fishing villages scattered along the coast of Honshu, Shikoku or Hokkaido. Get up early, walk along the beach, listen to the sound of waves. The sound of fish splashing in the net. The fishermen's calls to each other. Come to the village fish market and buy some fresh mackerel and herring. Then ask the locals to prepare them in the traditional way. You will feel the salty taste of the sea in every piece of fish meat. The smell of kitchen smoke mixed with the sea breeze, and the peace spreading to every cell. The story of the Japanese fishermen's artisanal mackerel and herring fishing is not only a story of labor, but also a story of morality, of respect for nature and human perseverance in the face of challenges. In a rapidly changing world, where people are increasingly far away from nature, the image of small fishermen in the vast ocean, with calloused hands, the steadfast gaze and the heart towards the sea, are a gentle but profound reminder how close we used to live to nature. And if we want to survive long term, we must learn to live like that again. The traditional wooden boats of Japanese fishermen may not be as flashy as modern fishing boats with high-power engines. But they carry the soul of the sea. Each boat is named, like a companion, preserved and cared for no less than a family member. When going out to sea, fishermen often touch the hull of the boat as a way of greeting, praying for peace and prosperity. They believe that if they treat the boat and the sea well, the sea will never let him down. Beneath the clear waters of the Japanese Sea, schools of herring and mackerel still diligently move along the ocean currents. They are gifts from the sea, the source of life for generations of coastal fishing villages. Herrings usually swim in large schools, their bodies shimmering like silver, moving in cold water currents. Mackerel swim deeper, preferring waters with lots of plankton. Fishermen must understand this habit to choose the right time to go out to sea. That is why there are days when the net is full after just a few hours. But there are also days when they go out to sea empty-handed, despite having used up all their experience and effort. Manual fishing is not simply about dropping the net and waiting for the fish to bite. Seafarers must learn to observe every little detail on the water surface, such as the change in color, the density of the waves, or the movement of seabirds, to guess whether there are fish below. Each time they drop the net, they bet on the knowledge, experience, and even the feeling of the captain. There are sleepless nights when they sit guarding the net under the flickering yellow light. Fighting the cold while waiting for a signal from the sea. When pulling up the net, if the fish sparkle, the whole boat bursts into joy. Laughter echoes across the ocean, drowning out the roar of the waves. But the ocean is not always easygoing. There are days when the weather changes. The wind blows up, big waves crash in, making the small boats sway like bamboo leaves. At those times, the fisherman's skills and courage are tested to the utmost. They not only have to keep the boat balanced, but also keep their spirits up, not letting fear control them. During a storm at sea, the oldest sailor on the boat is often the one who calms everyone down. He will retell old stories about the storms of the past, about looking at the clouds to predict the wind, like a spiritual medicine, making the young fisherman feel confident after each trip out to sea. When the boat returns, no matter how much or how little fish there is, everyone gathers at the fishing port. They divide the fish among each family. Some take it to the village market. Some keep it for processing. Each herring or mackerel is carefully processed, washed in seawater, sorted by size, then placed on wooden boards to dry in the sun or salt. There are no modern machines, but each step is done with such meticulousness that it is almost ritualistic.